Hey guys, this is Captain Brewer reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review for April 12th, 2023. All right, everybody, those of you that are new to the channel, I first want to say thank you. The channel's been getting some growth lately, and I greatly appreciate all of you here. All of you as well have stuck with the channel, too. Normally what I do is I review a batch of comic books. I can't read them all. I don't have that much time. I give them a score between 0 and 10, 7 being average, so henceforth you're going to get more in the 7 area. Also, I use League of Comic Geeks to give a little additional insight, as well as share what the reviews on there are so they can compare to what mine are, so you get a more broad perspective of what they are. Normally I give you my top 3, the bottom 3, and the middle in no particular order, but honestly this week it's a little thin. I've only read 5, and that's all I got, and you're going to hear my notes. So you hear that. So are we ready? Let's jump in here and have a little fun with reviewing these comics.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
All right, well, my number one, I'm actually going to start from the bottom up and work my way up, because I only read 5, so there's no point in doing the top and bottom and middle. So I'm going to start the lowest score and work my way up. My first one was Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods, issue number 3. On League of Geeks, it was a 30 out of 38, liked it with a 3.5 average, which lands at rate. Once again, average score, 3.5 is low B, around that area, which is what they would have given it if it was a grade. And I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought the art was mediocre in this, and that's the whole problem with this whole mini series, is it continues to be mediocre all the way through. You look at the cover of the issue, and that's pretty much the kind of art you're going to get. Nothing spectacular, nothing terrible, just all mid. Yeah, mid. Its writer is G. Willow Wilson, Becky Cloolan, whatever, and Michael Conrad. Once again, I don't butcher names on purpose. That's not an insult on purpose. It's just I'm terrible at pronouncing names. And we have an artist and a penciler. I'm going to let you look those up on your own, because I'm just going to butcher them. They didn't do anything great. Anyway, this is part 3. Is Wonder Woman responsible for the destruction wrought on by the gods she worshipped all of her life? Back in man's world at last, Diana sees the horrors of the gods' war and questions all she's done to ensure the Amazons' survival. Is it too late to turn the tide and achieve peace? Yes, it is. Meanwhile, Olympians itself trembles as Shazam Wizard takes revenge on his former champion. Yeah, I don't get that whole point why he's really doing that, but it is what it is. As I said, the whole issue is just mid, and that's the problem with it. And it seems like they give it a little bit higher than mid with a 3.5 on the League of Comics Geeks, but that's them, not me. All right, my next one, and we're going to hear some clicks. I'm going to pull up my information on there too. This is one I think has a lot of potential if they could only capitalize on it. That can be a troublesome thing. This also, though, could go really, really bad, especially since it's Marvel and they tend to dive into the completely... how do I put it? They go completely SJW in a lot of cases. And this is Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, number 3. I gave it a 7.01. But the League of Comics Geeks gave it a 3.7 average and 10 out of 12 liked it, which means not a lot of people are probably getting this series, so can't expect it to do particularly well there and all in that regard, but they are giving it a little bit better score than me, and that's fine. I'm not a fan of the art style on this. That's why I knocked it down a bit. For the art style just doesn't do it for me. It's nice. It's really actually sort of okay to see this character because she's not a Mary Sue, and that's why I appreciate that. So let's see if they can keep it that way. She didn't just dominate Blade, and that's something I like to see. So Danny Lore's the writer. Artist was Karen S. Darbo for the cover, and I think they do all the art in this too, a matter of fact, so correct me if I'm wrong there. But anyway, it says 2 blades are better than 1. He wanted to meet her. The girl, Brielle Brooks, has wanted to meet her father forever. But it's safe to say her first encounter with Blade didn't go as anticipated. as the supernatural world learns about the new vampire, and it tells you how this comes to be, how they learn of her, which I thought was a nice twist dealing with Doctor Strange. And then so Blade's going to train her, and I like that. Once again, I like the fact that it's not a Mary Sue, and that's why I gave it a pretty good score. But this is Marvel; it could really dip into turd territory very soon. I mean, let's be honest, Marvel has a knack of doing that. Now, my next one, this series is going to be ending soon. It's only going to have 50 issues, which is pretty long run actually for over the last few years for Captain Marvel, because it's Captain Marvel. Yeah, and it's issue number 48, which I gave a 7.1 out of 10. The League of Comics Geeks said 24 out of 25 liked it with a 4.2 average rating. Now, I don't quite give it as high as a rating as they do, but I will say this. There's a lot of haters for Captain Marvel out there and a lot of lovers of Captain Marvel. It's a pretty divisive character, and I think that partly is due to Brie Larson and what she did, as well as incredibly horrible writing from Marvel. But this has been the best series of Captain Marvel we've had since her first 2 runs. Yeah, in between there was a lot of garbage as they continually tried to retrench and change the character. This one brings back a little bit more of the way she used to be, the fiery, tough warrior with some issues that definitely she's dealing with, making her a true character. They had a little more humor than what I would like, and I think that's the way they're trying to transition the character with the writer Kelly Thompson, the artist Sergio Fernandez. It's once again an okay issue. I gave it a 7.1. The end of this story arc is coming, and I believe that'll be the end of this series as well. They'll probably reboot it again. That's probably their goals, what they like to do. A new movie comes out, they're going to reboot it, try to get everybody to jump on that number 1 instead of actually just letting the character go. Let's see how long the series can run. Decent story, decent art. Really, they should probably continue with this direction with Captain Marvel. The series is not amazing in any way, but let's be honest, as I said, this is the best we've had in a long time, I think, with her. The Brood finally have what they want, Captain Marvel in their clutches. The last time Carol Danvers was tortured by the Brood, they unleashed a whole new spectrum of powers within her. Just what are they trying to unlock this time? In all honesty, I hope they don't unlock new powers. She's already powerful enough and an interesting character, though not as powerful as the stands for the movie think she is. That's just all hype. She has never been that powerful. They really like to overpower her in that regard, but she's a powerful character, but a flawed character, which is what makes her good. And so that really, I think, in my opinion, makes it a pretty decent issue. So if you are a Captain Marvel fan, this is a series probably for you to get, and this storyline's good. If you're not, or you just want to check out Captain Marvel, this might be the time to finish it up, get to what's left of this, because it's not too terrible. My next one was Captain America Cold War Part 1. I gave it a 7.2. 27 out of 34 liked it with a 3.5 average rating, so nothing super high. The revolution starts here. Bucky Barnes is the Outer Circle's new revolution. He has enacted his deadliest move yet. I'm not a fan of that. I understand he's going into the inside to do the damage, but it's almost like they're acting like, oh, he's going so far and he's turning back, and he's not. He's probably not. Let's be honest. He's going to try to decimate it. But it is what it is for the story. The writers Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, as well as Tochi. I'm just going to butcher that name if I say it, so I don't want to. The artist is Carlos Magno, and here's the thing. I said I'm not a big fan of the Bucky turn here, but I realize it's probably only temporary. I'm also not a big fan of Dimension Z. That whole storyline with Dimension Z, they keep bringing up again and again. I'm not a big fan of it, so that doesn't help. But it's a decent story. It's good characterization and banter. I think the art is solid, but here's the thing I do like. You're actually seeing Steve Rogers look powerful again. It seems like, I apologize for the beeping there, the noises you get once in a while. That's messages. I should have turned that off. But anyway, it seems like for too long they keep depowering Captain America, not showing his full potential. Captain America is strong, very acrobatic, powerful, great strategist, great fighter, and people tend to forget he thinks at an incredible pace too. They just did a good job of showing him in a powerful way here, which was nice to see. And I always enjoy him with the Falcon, or in this case, Captain America, which I'm not a fan of. I'd rather him be the Falcon because I think the Falcon character alone is a cool character. No shame at Sam, by the way. Though I do say I like this uniform that Sam Wilson's wearing. It's pretty cool. He could always wear that and be the Falcon too as well, right? Why not? Anyway, so issue looks like it's onto a decent path. Nothing major for sales probably for it, but it's all right. So now we're going to go to my number one, my top issue of this week. I know I didn't read a lot, but here it is. Moon Knight number 22. 71 out of 74 liked it with a 4.4 average rating, and I can understand why. This series has been good. I gave it a 7.6. Yeah, 7.6. It's the Werewoman hunts. Tigra sets her sights on the Midnight Man, stalking her prey across the concrete jungle, while Moon Knight pursues new leads in a mystery that raises new questions with every answer. I'm not going to give away anything on this issue. I want you to read it for yourself and get the little twist in there, but it's nice getting more Tigra. I enjoy this character when she's written well. It's nice to see more of her, a little extenuating past what happened with her in the West Coast Avengers. Even though Moon Knight wasn't really in it very long, that's how they really got to know each other. It's nice to see this relationship develop between them. Great dialogue between Mark Spector and Tigra. I really enjoy that. I think this issue really does reveal some hardship and some issues with Tigra, which is nice to see, giving that character some more detail and more background here. It really is some nice character development. And this book seems, I believe, to be selling well based on the amount of people are reviewing it, and it keeps getting good ratings. And I think you'd be missing out if you're not checking out this series. So my hat goes off to Jed MacKay, the writer and the artist, Alessandro Capaculi. Please, I apologize for butchering that. Once again, no meanness intent there. Well, anyway, that's all I read here. Now, sometimes some people go, don't you ever read anything else? Yes, I do actually. Right now, if it's not on the main two, I'm reading a lot of my Alterna comics that I'm playing catch up on. But another thing I do is I read back issues of series. I like to take a series and read all the way through. And for a while now, I've been rereading all the way through the complete Captain America series, because I have almost every issue of Captain America through my many years of collecting. And I'm in the 220 something, maybe issue 230 at this point. I like to take it and just read it all the way through to get a, I already love Captain America, but it allows, I think, you get a better understanding of the character to continue and read it all the way through its continuity. And I've read a lot of these before. It's a reread, but it's a refresh. I don't know what series I'll go to next, but who knows? And that's why I haven't been diving into a lot of other things. So if I'm missing out on something and you think I should be reading it, by all means, let me know in the chat. I've had a lot of mentions before, and sometimes I go, well, I think the series isn't going to last, so I'm going to wait until it ends and then maybe read through the whole thing. Something to that nature. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you disagree with me on my thoughts on any of these comics? I would love to hear those as well. All right, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. And until next time, you know what's coming on. You're right. You know what's coming. Keep it